The year is 1935. This is the time when huge advances are being made in the field of aviation industry. One after another, countries of the world start to employ all-metal bombers. To be able to counter this new threat, the Royal Air Force needs a new, high-performance interceptor aircraft with high speed, good rate of climb, and powerful weaponry. The man who built this interceptor was none other than R.J. Mitchell, a very talented, self-educated aeronautical engineer and the technical director of the Supermarine Aviation Works. The first aircraft of the new series, called the Spitfire Mk1, had taken its maiden flight as early as 1936. In War Thunder, this aircraft sits at BR 2.7. It's armed with 8 7.7mm Browning machine guns. That's more than enough firepower to down other fighters, but unfortunately, heavier opponents will be a pain to deal with. At the same time, thanks to its excellent Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, it flies really, really well. The only but here is the fact that this engine comes with a float-type carburetor. It's not a bad thing per se, but it means that it doesn't really do negative G, so be careful with that. The next model, the Spitfire Mk2A, received an even more powerful engine, but still had to make do with the same armament. The next firepower upgrade came only with the Mk2B variant, which ditched 4 of its machine guns in favor of 2 20mm Hispano Mk1 cannons, making the aircraft much more dangerous. We suggest that you should stick to short bursts, though. You have to fight with a very limited ammo count of 60 rounds per cannon. The Spitfire Mk5 got a new engine, and the Mk5C was also fitted with 4 20mm cannons. It's worth noting that there was a line of trop variants easily identified by the addition of air filters. Those models were specifically built for use in the dusty deserts of North Africa. In 1943, following the division of the Kingdom of Italy, the Allies decided to give those planes to the Royalists. That's why this aircraft can be found in the premium branch of the Italian tech tree as well. The Spitfire Mk16 is the first model that doesn't have the problem with a float-controlled carburetor. It also comes with clipped wings, giving it better roll and maximizing speed. They also have a negative effect on its turn rate. But that's a Spitfire we're talking about, meaning that it can still outturn most opponents. Furthermore, the aircraft got a 4-bladed propeller instead of the old 3-bladed one, and 2 high-caliber machine guns instead of the old low-caliber ones. During the war, this Spitfire variant was used as a low-altitude fighter-bomber. It even dropped bombs on the V-2 launch sites. In the game, it can carry 2 250-pound bombs. They will certainly come in handy. The Spitfire Mk9 looks a lot like the Mk5, but that's just because both of its selling points are not immediately noticeable. It comes with an upgraded engine and far more ammo for your guns. The gift variation of this fighter, the Spitfire Mk9C, also has 4 cannons. The Mk9 has a few LF variants fitted with the Merlin 66 engine, tweaked for lower altitude flying. When it comes to climb rates, those are among the best piston engine aircraft in the game. There's also the Spitfire LF Mk9C that you can find as a premium aircraft in both the US and the Soviet tech trees. The Soviets received them through the Lend-Lease program. The Americans got them as a temporary replacement for their Mustangs while fighting in the skies of Italy. The British tech tree, though, is not without its own unique model. There's a Spitfire LF Mk9C that belongs to John Plagius, Southern Rhodesia's highest-scoring ace of the war. He used this exact fighter aircraft to score his 3 last victories before the end of the war, by the way. Spitfire variations fitted with Griffon engines that come after that are simply the best models the series can offer. Take a look at the Spitfire Mk14, for example. There are 3 modifications of this design in the game. The regular Mk14E and the premium Mk16C are almost identical. The only difference between the two that they carry different machine guns and have different amounts of ammo. The third model is the Prendergast Spitfire FR Mk14E, a reconnaissance variation equipped with a clipped E-type wing. It's named after James Prendergast, a renowned reconnaissance pilot. Mk18, Mk22, and Mk24 models didn't get to fight during World War II. They were quickly decommissioned to make way for a new generation of fighters. In the game, though, the late Spitfires are still there to shine. They fly well enough to be a dangerous opponent, and to not just late piston engine aircraft, but early jets as well. Furthermore, thanks to the access of RP-3 rockets, they make for very effective strike aircraft. It takes a bit of getting used to, of course, but soon you'll be able to use those rockets to wreck enemy tanks, one after the other. The best part is that after you run out of rockets, you still have one of the best piston engine fighters at your disposal. Go get him. Obviously, we can't end this video without mentioning the Naval Spitfires. Take the Seafire FR47, for instance, being the perfect model to showcase this type. It came with a reinforced main undercarriage and specialized naval equipment, so naturally, it weighs a bit more than a regular Spitfire. It's also armed with a 20mm Hispano Mk5 cannons with increased fire rate, which is nice. With all of that said, it still isn't as nice as the Seafire FR47, the most advanced naval Spitfire variation. Only 2 of those were lost during the Korean War, both due to stupid accidents. This aircraft doesn't come with the fanciest of armament arrangements. Instead, it has a very effective one: 4 Hispano Mk5 cannons that are always ready to say hi with their 1-second burst mass of 6.5 kilos. If you throw in 8 RP-3 rockets, this fighter also turns into a great strike aircraft for mixed battles. Spitfires were in service for more than 20 years and were used all over the world, allowing this series to claim the title of one of the most produced fighters in history. It is true that Mitchell had no university degree, but that certainly didn't prevent him from creating an engineering masterpiece. What is your favorite Spitfire? Tell us please in the comments below.